Trae Young isn't a good basketball player, and he's not even an all-star. But matter in fact, Trae Young is a great basketball player and a superstar. And what's making me really mad about what's going on now is that everyone's acting like he just got great this season. Oh yeah guys, real quick, before we get into this video, if you guys want to see another double upload, let's get this video to 300 likes in 1 hour. If we do so, I'll double upload. Let's continue on. People are acting like he just started putting up great numbers this year, but he's been putting up these numbers. The difference, and the real difference behind everything going on, is that this year is the first year he's getting recognition for it. Maybe recognition was a bad word, but this is the first year he's getting the hype he deserves. I think I'm so upset with this because I kept up with Trae Young in college and I also kept up with him in high school. Once he got to the NBA, that's when he reached his peak of popularity and he continues to grow and grow and grow just like any other player. And what he's doing now in the playoffs, it's straight up ridiculous. There's no other word for it. All you see on Twitter and social media is people raving and talking about how great he is. They're saying stuff like, oh, the things he's doing, it's ridiculous and we've never seen it before. I get what they're saying, and for the most part it's true, unless you've watched Trae Young before because he's been doing this. I do want to state this and make it very clear, the Trae Young situation is very similar to Devin Booker. Nobody gave Devin Booker any credit because he was on a losing team, and unfortunately, that's how it goes. It's kind of the same thing for Trae Young. Nobody cares unless you're winning and doing it in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of ironic that out of nowhere people are just acting like Devin Booker and Trae Young got good out of nowhere. But in reality, nothing in their game has changed whatsoever. The only thing that's changed is that they're winning, and that's all there is to it. I hate to be that guy because I know a lot of people are saying this now, but legitly, I was on the Trae Young bandwagon in high school. I even made a video talking about it and I said he had the potential and he could be the next Steph Curry, and it's looking like I'm right. But here's the thing, in society, this is how people are. People in general like to follow the crowd and they like to do and say what other people are saying and doing. So for example, if it's popular to hate on Matt B. Great and I have a bunch of haters, then everybody's gonna do it. They're not even going to think for themselves and form their own opinion. In high school, Trae was getting a little hate, but nothing crazy. People knew he was good. However, what people were scared to say, and I was saying this and I stuck by it, I didn't care that people thought I was crazy, but Trae Young wasn't going to be an average NBA player one day, but he was going to be one of the best. The only reason people were scared to say that is because Trae Young was a skinny, scrawny player in high school and he's still not that buff. Maybe in the early 2000s he wouldn't be an undersized point guard, but in 2021 point guards are nowadays 6'6" and 6'5", so he's undersized. Normally in the NBA, when we do see a scenario of a point guard being only 6'2" or 6'3", they're really athletic. Well, for Trae, that was also a knock on his game because he's vertically challenged. He's not the most athletic guy out there, and even he admitted that. So in high school, we had a kid who was roughly 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3" on a good day, and coming in at roughly 165-ish pounds. To make things even worse, he wasn't the quickest player, he couldn't jump that high, and he was a liability on defense. For those reasons right there, nobody would say and nobody expected him to be doing what he's doing now. I'm gonna take credit for it, and I'm not just saying this. I have no reason to lie about it, but I expected him to do this. And what's even more surreal about this is that other people did too, but they were scared to say it because it was too risky. I can understand why completely, because if 3 years ago you said Trae Young of all people was going to be dominating the NBA, yes that's right, I said dominating because he is, people would look at you sideways or like you're on crack. Think about it, let's be a realist. How many guys at his height are doing what he's doing? And I know what some of you are thinking, yo Matt, he's dominating. Yeah, he is dominating. When you have a guy carrying a team with no superstars besides himself, that's dominating. We'd have a different conversation if he was only putting up, 18 points per game and 5 or 6 assists, but he's averaging roughly 30 points per game and 10 assists in the playoffs. I've seen a lot of players get doubted over a span, but normally those doubters go away. Trae Young is the only player I know that can prove the doubters and haters wrong and they still doubt him. In high school, people doubted him. He proved them wrong. In college, people said he wasn't going to do nothing. He proved them wrong and put up unreal numbers. And in the NBA, it's the same thing. And just look at the past couple of weeks. He's still proving people wrong. When Atlanta made it to the playoffs, all everybody was saying is, oh, well, they're not going to do anything and they got lucky to get there. Then boom, what did they do? They win their first round. Fast forward in time to the second round, it was, oh, they had a good run and they're lucky to be there. Trae's going to have a couple of good games, but they're not going to win this series. And guess what? Boom, they win the second round. And what happened after that? The conversation was, oh, Giannis and the Bucks, they're too big, too powerful. Trae's gonna get clamped up. And in his first game, the dude dropped a 50-piece McNugget meal on their heads. What more proof and what more do you need to see out of this man to understand that he's up now? It's not a fluke, and I think that's why people are scared to give him the credit he deserves. It's like anytime he does something good, people say he's not going to do it again. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me because he's been doing this. And let me say this again because I want to drill this in your head. Trae Young isn't an all-star, but he's a superstar. He's one of the best players in all of the NBA. Some of you may be shocked with what he's done this year, rightfully so, and some of you also may be shocked at what he's doing in the playoffs. But here's why you shouldn't be. Like I said earlier, I understand that he got a lot of fans once he got to the NBA, but if you've been keeping up with this dude, you knew he could hoop. Here's the reason as to why I'm not shocked by this, and these numbers, they speak for themselves. Or not themselves, but themselves. I think that's how you say it. As a sophomore in high school, a 10th grader, he averaged 25 points per game and 5 assists. That's not too bad, but as a junior, he averaged 34.2 points per game, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And if that wasn't good enough for you, as a senior, he averaged 42.6 points per game, 6 rebounds and 4 assists, while shooting roughly 49%. Let that sink in your head. He averaged 43 points per game. Most of your high school teams ain't even putting up 43 combined. After high school, it was the generic and loser excuse that everybody has. Oh, well, he wasn't playing competition. When he goes to a Power 5 conference, he's not going to do that. And in college, when he started to blow up a little more, he averaged 27.4 points per game and 8.7 assists. I'm not going to talk about his NBA stats too much because they're fairly similar and we're witnessing what he's doing. The only reason I even brought those numbers up is because I want you to understand he's been a dominating player. Even though he's undersized and all those things we've stated, he's proven that he can still be the main guy. But yet, people are still scared to praise this man because it's not popular to. I want to leave you with this, and I want you to really think about it. If James Harden was putting up the numbers that Trae Young's doing in the playoffs, everybody would be having a fit and saying he's one of the best players and scorers of all time. Since it's Trae Young though, for some odd reason, people don't want to give him the same amount of respect, and it's ridiculous. I don't understand it. Maybe it's because they think it's a fluke, but I don't even see how you could argue that statement. What all these NBA analysts and announcers, whatever you want to call them, what they're scared to tell you is that they know Trae Young's a superstar. They're just not going to say it. And once again, if you disagree with me, if James Harden was doing the same thing, people would be saying he's one of the top 3 players in the league. But since it's Trae Young, they don't say that. Is Trae Young a top 5 player in the league right now? That's debatable, but I think he's easily in the top 10. The truth about all of this is that Trae Young is one of the best players in the NBA. It's simple. I know we're entitled to our own opinions, but if you disagree, you're wrong, and he's going to continue to prove you wrong. It's about time that this fine young man has gotten or gets the respect he deserves. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you boys and girls enjoyed. Hope you learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family and hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.